This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 323, Why Saying You Want Change is Not Enough, by Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com, and I'm your personal narrator, Justin Malik. This is a blogcast, podcast, audio blog, spoken edition. What other ways can you define this podcast? I don't know, but it's definitely different than the typical podcast. I simply read to you from the best blogs I can find, with author permission, of course, and today we'll be hearing from Joshua Becker of Becoming Minimalist. And speaking of minimalism, I announced this a little while ago to my friends and to my mailing list, but now seems like a good opportunity to mention it right here on the show. This summer, I worked on doing an updated audiobook for the Minimalist book Essential, which is a collection of a ton of their essays with bonus content. It's a great book, and I'm so happy that they asked me to be the narrator for it. It was a lot of work, more than I expected, but totally worth it. And the Minimalists have been super kind throughout the process as I figured out the specifications, exactly how I needed to record it, and all that fun stuff. But anyway, Amazon, Audible, and iTunes finally released it. It took a long time, but it happened, and it's now available. Now, you can actually get this completely for free, this audiobook, if you sign up for a trial of Audible through me. Not only that, but Audible will give a small amount to the show too. So win-win there. And if you get this book specifically, you'll be supporting the Minimalist too. So triple win. If you've never tried Audible, this is the perfect opportunity to do all those things. You'll get a 30-day free trial. And if you cancel your membership with them, you get to keep your first book for free and you didn't pay a thing. So it doesn't get much better than that. For all of that, just go to oldpodcast.com/free to get your free book. And if you choose Essential for your free first book, extra thanks. And I'd love it if you could review it once you're done listening too. That'd be a huge help. All right, that was a little longer than I expected, so let's get to this post quickly and start optimizing your life. Why Saying You Want Change is Not Enough, by Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com. Every Sunday morning, I drive by a park. It's on the left-hand side of the street, with a basketball court, play structure, and large soccer field clearly visible. During the week, in afternoons and evenings, the park is full of excitement. Parents sit and talk, children play, teenagers ride skateboards, grown men show up to play basketball. But early on a Sunday morning, the park tells a different story. It is quiet and completely empty, except for one person who, without fail, works out in the field every weekend. For as long as I can remember, every Sunday when I drive by that park, I see a young man, high school age, exercising in that park, running sprints and working on his football skills with a private coach. Some weeks I find him running 40-yard sprints while his trainer tracks his time with a stopwatch. Other weeks I find him high-stepping through tires, weaving through cones, or backpedaling quickly to improve his foot speed. By the time I drive by, he is clearly exhausted. Oftentimes I've seen him complete a drill and walk slowly back to the starting line. He'll put his hands on his knees and take a deep breath, the physical pain obvious even from my vantage point. And then with a heavy sigh, he'll put his fingers on the ground, arch his back, wait for the whistle, and push himself again. I know nothing of this young man. I don't know his name, his exact age, or where he lives. I only know that he inspires me. He reminds me that a goal without action is not really a goal at all. He reminds me there's a big difference between saying you want something and actually working to make it happen. My son is in 7th grade and loves playing sports. Many of his friends do as well. In fact, they love sports so much that when I ask them what they want to be when they grow up, most will say, "I want to be a professional athlete." The response doesn't surprise me. When I was younger, I said the same thing. It is a common dream that is tough to outgrow. No doubt, even in high schools all over this country, the dream of becoming a professional athlete remains. In my mind, I imagine this young man from the park plays on a football team at one of our local high schools. His team is full of other high school students, many of which would tell you they have a goal to one day become a professional football player. There are countless boys who claim they want to play in the NFL. But there's only one I see up early on Sunday morning running sprints until his legs hurt. There's only one working his tail off to make it a reality. And I am inspired because that is the dedication required to become a professional football player. I won't be surprised if he makes it one day. The whole scene reminds me of a conversation I witnessed shortly after graduating college. A mentor of mine was interacting with a gentleman older than me when the man made this statement: "I want to buy a Corvette." My mentor responded to his desire quite frankly, "No, you don't." "What do you mean? Of course I do. I'd like to own a Corvette." My mentor responded with words I have never forgotten. "No, you don't really want to buy a Corvette. You see, if you really wanted to buy a Corvette, you could buy a Corvette. You could sell your home and maybe also your business. Then you would have enough money to buy a Corvette. You say you want to own a Corvette, but if you really wanted to buy a Corvette, you'd be changing your life to do exactly that. I learned a valuable lesson that day from my mentor. Saying you want something is one thing, but actually doing something about it is very different. We prove what we desire most by our actions, not by our words. We see this and experience it all the time. We want to get out of debt, but continue to spend money on unneeded things. We want to get in shape, but never make the changes in our diet or exercise habits to accomplish that. We want to start saving for retirement, but never pursue the answers we need to get started. We desire to start a business or change jobs, but continue to spend our evenings and weekends watching television. Or how about this one? We desire to live in a clutter-free home, but continue finding reasons why we need to keep all the stuff around us. In each case, what we say we want is different from what we actually pursue. Again, saying you want something is one thing, doing something about it is very different. We prove what we desire most by our actions, not by our words. So let me ask you, what is it you want most? What life change do you desire? Then ask yourself this follow-up question. Are you taking the steps necessary to accomplish that goal? Or are you settling for something else instead? After all, a goal without a plan is just wishful thinking. You just listened to the post titled, Why Saying You Want Change Is Not Enough by Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com. Well said, Joshua. And since I already spent a good amount of time mentioning this at the top of the show, I'll just sum it up really quickly right now. You can get the Minimalist new audiobook narrated by me totally free if you start a trial with Audible by visiting oldpodcast.com/free. I will get a little contribution from Audible. The Minimalist probably will too. And you can cancel your Audible trial at any time in the first, 30 days if you don't like the service, and keep the book without paying a dime. Again, just visit oldpodcast.com/free to get the audiobook Essential by the Minimalist for free, or you can always just find it and buy it however you want. And that's it for today. Tomorrow is an Indian holiday, actually, probably the biggest holiday of the year, Diwali. But I'll still be here reading for you, so I'll see you there, where your optimal life awaits.
Hey, this is Dan from the Optimal Finance Daily podcast, which is a lot like this show, except more focused on personal finance. Justin handpicks the best posts he can find from blogs and authors like Ramit Sethi, Mr. Money Mustache, and more, and I read them to you 5 days a week. So if you enjoy this podcast, come on over and subscribe to Optimal Finance Daily too. And together, we'll optimize your financial life.
You've been listening to Optimal Living Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's OLDpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.